Hello, welcome. I'm your host, Elizibar, and I'm blocking the light with my shoulder. This is Red Winter. It was a book I got on Kickstarter. It was signed. I'm not showing you the whole signature so I don't accidentally dox myself. In fact, I'm going to pull it like this when I open the cover so you don't see anything. Look at this beautiful commandie piece. Isn't that gorgeous? It's absolutely beautiful. Anyway, it's like a suspense crime story. So we've got an old dude here. He wakes up. Alright. Boy, I don't want to push this down because I don't want to, like, ding-a-ding the book, you know, by bending it out of shape. He wakes up, he spends the whole thing complaining. There's a lot of swearing, a whole lot of swearing. And he meets the guys who are there to pick him up. Doesn't that look like a nice person? He looks like such a nice person. And they go. We hear about the refinery, the district he lives in, the homeless people. Like, it's all like good background stuff. You can see the desperation. He meets the mob boss he works for. He learns about the situation. And he gets his job. And his job is to go find out who did a bad thing. And so he goes to figure out who did a bad thing. The conversation doesn't exactly go too well for him. I'm just going to kind of hold the page. Just leave the comic here for a little bit. Story-wise, like, I don't know, stuff happened. Like, things were rolling. But at the same time, I feel like not a lot happened. Like, if this was a detective story, this kind of pacing might work. But I already need the second issue by the time I get to the end of this. I don't have the second issue because it doesn't exist yet. Let me flip back here. This was a moment I liked. Way back when he was waking up, he complained about breakfast because he eats the same bad sausage on the same bad bread every day. And then, well, ain't that a sight for sore eyes? American-style fast food. Thank God for small mercies. I like it. The writing I thought was pretty good. There's too much swearing, I think. You can see the people he's dealing with. The art. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the art. Character geometry seems to shift from panel to panel sometimes. Like, the basic outline of the person's there, but they'll grow, like, just a little bit, like, cartoonishly. Like, the mob boss, I think, is the most guilty of that behavior. Because he looks like this here. If we flip back to here, he's, like, melting. And his face in the other panels where he's at doesn't look like it should do that. Like, he's got definite structure and form. This smile makes the skin really tense or really tight on his face. So he shouldn't just suddenly look like he's a blobfish and he's melting as soon as he's out of water. So there's little stuff like that, and it kind of irks me. It's very sketchy, but that's not the right word to use either. There's like lots of little sketchiness to it in the way it's made, even after being inked and colored. I think the right way to put it, and I think it applies to basically the whole book. Let me pull this back and just slide it forward very slightly so you can't see anything. I think the whole thing, I wish I could just show you the cover because it really exemplifies what I'm... Oh, you know what? Hold on. Oh, wow. I've left like little fingerprints on the cover. I hate gloss finishes for that reason. There's some process stuff at the back here. Look, next one, be up on Kickstarter soon. Yeah, see this, I think, kind of will get across what I'm trying to get to here. I know this isn't the best situation to look at this, but if you look here, even in the black and white, the inks and the pencils and the shading, like, it's already dirty looking, like everything about the book. Look here, just this background material, which is a copy of the cover. Like, this is dirty. The grime of Moscow comes through in every page of this thing. Here, oh. I've shown a lot of the book off, probably more than I meant to, probably more than I should have. But like, just look at this alleyway, man. I've heard from a Ukrainian acquaintance of mine, like, the snow's really pretty for like one day, and then it just gets full of dirt. And you can see, like, it's here. The whole book is like that. It's just dirty. The language is dirty. The writing is dirty. The people are dirty. Maybe ugly is a better word than just dirty, but it's in there. And while I was nitpicking the art, because it's a little cartoonishy in the way people are formed sometimes, the way they go from panel to panel, and the shape of their face, their expressions. I think really it does serve the story, because the story is this gritty, dirty, nasty thing like this alleyway. This is the story right here. A guy falling into a dirty alley. You're looking at the story in a nutshell in 3 panels. That's a microcosm of everything else in the book. It was an interesting story. It was interesting. I liked reading it. But ultimately, right there. But ultimately, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to back the next one, you know? It didn't hook me enough. It's somewhere between being like a crime thriller and a detective story, I think. And I like those things in movies, and I like them in fiction. I just, I just don't know if I like it in this fiction, in this story, you know? It is what it is. Like, there's nothing objectively bad about the book. Like, the art style maybe is hit or miss for you, depending on what kind of person you are. I think the worst looking page is actually this very first one. When I flipped this open, I was like, look at this crap. Like, that's the immediate thought that went through my head. But then you get later in the book, and, oops, I just bumped into the thing. You get later in the book, and that kind of goes away. It's like, you realize this is like a Go-Go 13 type story. Like, it's just very serious, and the art style is just trying to look serious and depressing and evoke a mood of depression. It's dirty, it's filthy, and not in the connotations people usually use those words. Maybe I should just say it's ugly. I think that's a better adjective to describe what I'm feeling here. It's an ugly story with ugly people in an ugly place. That's a whole lot of ugly. And the little surprise, twisty thing towards the end, when in pages I didn't show because I didn't want to spoil it, it doesn't really take away from that. Oh, there's an absolutely beautiful moment. Hold on. I'll show you. And it's beautiful because it's like the first... Yeah. It's like the first nice thing to happen to this guy in the whole book. This lady helps him up the stairs. Like, and even her, like the way she's drawn, isn't like particularly appealing. She's probably, like from the expression on her face, she's had it rough, man. And this is the most beautiful moment in the book. It's a little bit of, wow, way to smack the book around. It's a little moment of twisted beauty amidst all the brutal ugliness of it. I'm showing like nothing. This is reality. Reality is nothing. And that's Red Winter. I'll see you guys next time. You have a nice day. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, thumbs up. Till then, bye-bye.